and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 10 team selection video with me, Holly Shand. Given that we had the Monday Night Football, this video is coming a little bit later than normal in the week, but I am going to go over my Game Week 19 before looking ahead to my transfer plans and an easy captain decision ahead of Game Week 10. It's Charity Week on the channel this week. You are supporting for Cancer Research UK just by watching this video. But if you are new, hit the subscribe button. That'll add an extra 10p into the pot. Don't forget to hit the like button as well. And there's various other ways in which you can help in this campaign. Let's get into it. Game Week 9 was a great one for me then, ended up on 91 points and a big green arrow up to 1.1 million now. Pleased to be making some progress. The wildcard is certainly paying off. It was a strange game week. Saturday was woeful, if I'm honest. I think I had an assist from Martinelli, a clean sheet from Trippier. I didn't actually realise when I saw that Newcastle conceded that Trippier had already gone off, so got very lucky there. Obviously the Pope clean sheet was wiped out, but then Sunday was better. Haaland, wow, what a performance. And De Bruyne obviously got some fancy returns as well. And then the game week finished off with Maddison, who really impressed in the Monday Night Football. So I'm glad I postpone the video until later in the week so that you could see those points come in. So very pleased with my team's performance. Obviously transfer plans are going to hinge on that man Mitrovic. Now I'm recording this video on Wednesday ahead of the Champions League fixtures. We've got Chelsea and Manchester City in action tonight, so it'll be interesting to see which of Manchester City's players start in that game, because if we look at the transfers in, Phil Foden is among the top transfers in for Game Week 10, and he is a player on my watch list as well, so seeing Champions League minutes could make that decision on transfers for Game Week 10 quite an interesting one. We've still got 5 teams in action, so if you are in a position where you can use your transfers on Friday close to the deadline, then that's probably going to be the best strategy. Plenty of time on Saturday morning as well, because the deadline isn't until 1:30. And remember, I'll be doing a special charity deadline stream from 12 o'clock on Saturday, taking you right up to that deadline. When it comes to my transfer plans then, we're still waiting for news on Mitrovic. He could be available this weekend. It could also be that he's going to be out for a longer period of time. The thing that worries me is the fact that Serbia are in the World Cup. So that's, something that's going on in the background. I've got 2 free transfers for this week, but the thing that I'm struggling with is that I've got absolutely no funds in the bank, and I could be making anywhere between 0 and 3 transfers depending on, Mitrovic's availability. My challenge, and there's a few challenges right now, but the weak spots in my squad, it's probably the bench players right now. Neco Williams obviously substituted at half-time in the defeat to Leicester. Serge Aurier was a late acquisition for Forest in the transfer window. Could we see those two share minutes now? Emerson can't get in the team for West Ham. A few 1-minute cameos from him. Again, there's no one at 4 million to swap to though. And as well as that, Andreas Pereira in my midfield, I am going off him now because Willian is taking a larger share of the set pieces for Fulham. That means that's kind of diminishing Andreas's attacking potential. And with Mitrovic potentially out, he's a less attractive prospect. Now, in terms of moves, I have been looking at my Manchester City triple up. I would really like to own Foden, and an indulgent transfer plan could be to downgrade Cancelo and upgrade in midfield to get Foden in. However, I do feel like that is a luxury move and there's no guarantees it'll pay off. Another option to release some funds would be to go from De Bruyne to Foden. That'll release about 4 million, which would allow me to do other things elsewhere. So that's looking at working on my 5th midfielder, my 4th and 5th defenders that I'm going to need for blank game week 12, because I'm going to be at least carrying Haaland, probably Cancelo as well, and Martinelli at least on my bench. I could even, have Foden or De Bruyne that position in there still. I could decide to hang on to that player because I know I want them for game week 13 and just play with 10 in blank game week 12. So that's kind of where I am with transfers at the moment. I know on the watch list video that I published earlier this week, I mentioned a couple of potential Mitrovic replacements in Anthony Martial and also Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins has got the golden fixture of Nottingham Forest this week. Great fixtures for Aston Villa. The issue with Martial, he's not absolutely nailed on, so again we'll have to see what sort of team they play in the Europa League. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ronaldo back in action midweek, but if I do nothing else, I could do Mitrovic down to Solanke. I mean, I would like to maybe upgrade my fifth midfielder and move funds away from the forward line if Mitrovic is going to be out long term. But the issue with that is that I need that third striker, that Mitrovic replacement for game week 12, which is why I'm looking at Solanke anyway. But that's only going to give me about $1 million to make upgrades elsewhere. But it would allow me to potentially upgrade Andreas to someone like Joe Willock. It'd also allow me to upgrade one of Neco Williams or Emerson. I still think Williams and Emerson could come good though, so that's something in my mind as well. As you can see, I'm very undecided at the moment. There are a lot of options on the table. There's more things that can happen before the deadline as well, including getting the news of Mitrovic. But I think what's most likely to happen is if Mitrovic is going to be out long term and he is a sell this week, I'll probably go down to Solanke to free up funds. If Mitrovic is fit, I could potentially move De Bruyne down to Foden to give me some extra funds to play around with in the coming weeks, because I can't upgrade the players that I'm unhappy with because I've not got those funds in the bank. But you know, if De Bruyne's rested in the Champions League and Foden plays, then I'm not going to make that move. And likewise, if De Bruyne plays in the Champions League and Foden's rested, I'm going to be more motivated to make that change. But as I mentioned already, I won't be doing my final transfers until Saturday, probably on that charity live stream. Team selection then and captaincy for this week is quite straightforward. We've already spoken about the fact that the options on my bench aren't that enticing. Andreas will probably be first sub if Mitrovic is available, with Williams and Emerson making up those minor places. I think that's where I'm going to be at the moment, and obviously Haaland is going to be my captain. I guess the question that we're going to have each week now is who to vice captain, because there is a chance at any point that Haaland could miss out, and at that point you will want to give a little bit of thought to your vice captain. I'll probably leave it on James Maddison. He's been in absolutely sensational form this season. It's really impressive seeing his level of attacking return so far, the consistency, even though Leicester haven't been playing very well. So 7 returns in 7 starts. I think Maddison's a great vice captain this week against one of the promoted teams. But you know, I'm just so excited to see what Manchester City can deliver against Southampton. It's an absolutely sensational fixture for Man City. Part of me still wishes that I could get the triple up, but I don't think it's worth spending all those transfers and neglecting those weak points on my bench in order to have Foden, De Bruyne and Haaland in that game. But if I am confident on Foden's minutes, then it could be Foden in my midfield and not De Bruyne. If you've got any advice for me on the transfers you think I should make, let me know in the comments. I also want to hear your transfer plans as well, so drop them below. And within 24 hours of this video being published, I'm going to try and respond to every single comment. Remember to support me in Charity Week as well by hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, get an extra 10p in the pot. And I'll be back with the Game Week preview on Thursday, Ask Me Anything stream on Friday, and then that special deadline charity stream on Saturday. So hit the notify button, that'll remind you whenever I go live. Thanks for watching everyone, and good luck for FPL Game Week 10.